1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetimes. And when detected early, there's close to a 100% 5-year survival rate. That's where Pints for Prostates comes in. And this weekend, Denver's Station 26 Brewing Company is teaming up with the nonprofit to raise awareness. And Denver County Judge Andre Rudolph is one of the principal organizers of the event. It's so good to see you. So a special beer will be released on Saturday, and it's actually named after you, which is pretty cool. How did that come about, and how will this beer help Pints for Prostates?
So as being a patron of the brewery a while ago, when they first pretty much opened, I was sitting there one day, kind of tearful, and they were asking me, like, what's going on? You're usually happy and everything. And I said, well, something's going on with my dad, and I really wish that he would go get checked out. Ultimately, we found out that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which was pretty devastating. And they talked to me about the organization, Pints for Prostate, and getting involved with them and doing some things. And I didn't really know anything about them. So they introduced me, and they wanted to do a beer and do a fundraiser with them. And I, agreed and said yes. But I said, you do have to make it kind of innocuous, and you could just call it The Judge. You can't use my name in there or anything like that, but I'll be involved and do whatever I can to bring awareness, for men to get checked. Obviously, my dad, he passed away actually April 21st of this year, which was, quite tough, but he fought a long, hard battle with the disease. And with Pints for Prostates, one of the great things is just trying to bring awareness to men to go get checked out. I actually had my first prostate exam when I was 40, and the doctors were asking me what I was doing. I said, isn't that what you're supposed to do? And they said, no, come back when you're 50. You're okay. But since then, obviously, I'm trying to make sure that other men go and get checked. We seem to take our health for granted and don't do all of the things that we need to do. While you may go to the gym or run or work out, the other things, having blood work or having a colon screening or a prostate screening, men don't seem to want to do or even enjoy. But the great thing about the beer is $1 will be donated back to the organization for every pint that's sold. And also it comes in 4-packs, and $1 for every 4-packs sold will be donated directly to the organization, along with some other things that we're going to be doing as part of a chance to win other bottle prizes and rare beers and things of that nature, just to help benefit them.
I do want to send you condolences for your father that you mentioned. This is the second year of the fundraiser. Is that why this is so important to you?
It really is. He was, my dad was really quite, one of the things that he was an icon, so to speak, at Colorado State University of all things. I'm a Wyoming grad. But my dad actually started the Alliance of, I believe it's the Alliance of Black Student Leaders, or the Black Student Organization up there, and got invited back by President Al Yates back in the day, and then he established a scholarship fund. Ironically enough, one of my colleagues didn't know that the person I was talking about was my dad when we were discussing, how ill he was, and then when she found out, she's like, hey, I won this award or got this scholarship from your dad, which was really just cool. And we established that relationship. And so it really is that, because he just was such a big personality and just such a good, wonderful, kind-hearted, person that would be willing to do, anything for anybody, anytime, except, really go get checked out earlier. Before he got diagnosed, which one of the things was, I actually said to him, I said, Dad, I think something's wrong with you, probably in 2014 or 15. And he officially wasn't diagnosed until 2018, and then chemo, radiation, and all of that. But, he ended up, losing that battle. But yeah, that's really why it's so important to me. And even more recently, having a friend who didn't tell me, find out that he got diagnosed and just went through radiation. He says, hey, about the same time I got diagnosed, your dad had either passed away or you knew that it was going to happen, and I didn't want to bother you. But, it's those sorts of things. So hopefully what we could do with the event, particularly, in the second year, COVID kind of changed a lot of things, is just bring awareness and just go in. It's you could do the blood work, you can, do the exam and just stay on top of it so that it's something that is treatable, and you can certainly, with early detection, know what your options are. And that's the big thing that I want to do. There's no reason for men not to get checked out and not to, once they have diagnosis, have options to be able to beat this disease.
What do you want men to know about prostate cancer and getting screened? You touched on it. Obviously, getting screened early is key.
Absolutely. Just statistically, if you just go in, if you just take the time to go in and get the screening, it's so weird because you have so many men that will just say, "Oh, I don't want to do that." And I'm like, "Well, it's so strange. This is your health. Go in, get the screening, get the blood work, and monitor your health. And as long as you're doing that, you can have a conversation with your doctor if there's anything that's going on in terms of having issues with your prostate. If it's an abnormal exam, they can tell you how to monitor or what to do. I went in and just here recently and had a conversation with my doctor because of my dad, and I'm good, but I'm going to stay on top of it because it's something that is so important, just to make sure that you do that. Like with one of my friends who was recently diagnosed and just went through radiation. He said that he had a couple of exams that were abnormal, and he immediately, to some extent, said, because he had heard me always saying, be an advocate, he wanted to know right away, what can I do? And to prevent this, I don't want to wait and watch, and if it's slow growing and that sort of thing, I really want to just take care of this. And he did. And right now he's doing well.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or you want our viewers to know?
I just would like for the viewers to know, your health is so important amongst men in general, but in particular, as a Black male, this disease seems to take its toll on us. And I think part of that is because we're reluctant to go and get the exam and do the work. And so the biggest thing that I want folks to know is that you've got to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter if you're walking or you're running or you're staying in the gym. There's other things that could be going on with you internally. And if you're not doing those things and taking care of yourself, all the other stuff doesn't matter. If, in terms of your diet or whatever else, you need to go and do blood work and get a screening and stay on top of these things so that you can really lead a good and safe life. So as I like to say, I'm not ready to go yet. My dad, when he passed away, was a very young 72, very active. And to watch him go through what he did and the deterioration, I don't want to ever see anybody go through that. And so if you can be treated, if you can go and get early detection and, stick around for your friends, your family, your colleagues, that's the best thing that you can do. And you owe it to them, if nothing else. If it's not important enough for you, make it important enough for those loved ones in your life so they can see you through and enjoy all the time that you have here on this earth.
Well, you getting the word out is doing just that. So thanks so much. Thanks for talking with us. Can't wait to taste that beer, The Judge. And of course, you can check out the Pints for Prostates fundraiser for yourself. It's this Saturday at Station 26 Brewing. You'll find them on 38th near Quebec in the Central Park neighborhood. And remember, $1 from every pint of The Judge beer will be donated directly to the cause.